Welcome to the Inspired Podcast, Leading the Way in Education. I'm your host, Andrea De La Cerda, and each week I'm bringing you insightful discussions and news about changes in the landscape of education and entrepreneurship. This is the second in a two-part series about trust in business today. Why have we lost it, and how can we win it back? We'll pick up here where we left off, but if you missed part one, be sure to go back and listen to the first part of this topic. Today, let's start by looking at the use of fake reviews and endorsements or misleading advertising on products or services when discovered will damage brand credibility. Some companies make up positive reviews or endorsements for their products or even pay for fake reviews and testimonials. I have been in the world of online marketing for decades, and this has always been a black hat practice. But today, it's even more sophisticated. As one of the newest additions to the category of ways to break consumer trust, scammers are now using AI to create fake celebrity endorsements for products. We will get into AI deepfake and how it is otherwise being misused a little bit later in this episode. But for now, just know that the Federal Trade Commission has issued a consumer alert this last April to warn people about this new risk. While social media influencers being paid for a product or service promotions on their channels blurs the line of false authenticity, data suggests that many consumers trust these influencers more than any other form of advertising. A recent study found that 69% of respondents are likely to trust a friend, family member, or influencer recommendation over information coming directly from a brand. However, this has the potential to go downhill if an influencer's values are different from those of a purpose-driven brand, or an influencer later falls out of public approval, which we see happening all the time. It can create a lack of authenticity that really can cause consumer mistrust, or certainly make it even worse. As an example of damage to a brand's credibility through false advertising, let's look at Burger King. Burger King was sued in 2022 for falsely advertising the size and quality of their burgers. The plaintiff said that, quote, advertisements and photos on store menu boards show burgers that are about 35% larger with double the meat than the burgers they purchased, unquote. This class action lawsuit is only one of many that have been filed in recent years on the subject of false advertising. But the message is clear. Consumers want the truth about the quality of the product or service they're paying for, and fake reviews and false advertising only serve to damage consumer confidence and brand reputation. Lastly, on the list of causes that businesses have to play in our trust recession, being involved in a scandal or public controversy can tarnish a brand's image. So, remember that Volkswagen scandal that we talked about in the last episode? Well, many loyal customers lost their trust after Volkswagen's betrayal and disregard for their concern for the environment. And another example of a trust-breaking scandal is the Wells Fargo account fraud scandal, which you might remember. It was brought to light in 2016, in which Wells Fargo employees actually created millions of unauthorized fake accounts. The company had to pay billions of dollars in fines, both civil penalties and criminal investigations. According to data from YouGov, Brand Index, the company's public perception index score, which included general impression, satisfaction, quality, corporate reputation, value, and recommendation, was 5.8 on August 1st, 2016. But by December 11th of 2016, it had dropped by 17.3 points. 8 years later, as of May 21st, 2024, this number is still in the negatives, at negative 3.9. This scandal and many similar to it could have been avoided through honest business practices. A lack of integrity from many large businesses not only deteriorates customer trust in those individual businesses, but also that of others. You might be thinking that all of the brands in my examples have stayed in business and even held their place as large corporations. But think about all the money they've spent to stay that way after a trust-breaking incident, not only on lawsuits and fines, but on campaigns and other promotional efforts. And now, with societal memory and media coverage of these scandals, these companies have to work twice as hard not to fall under public scrutiny again. During a trust recession, it isn't just important to practice honest business ethics. New and established businesses alike must show customers that they're a purpose-driven company that is committed to achieving good in the world. If you're interested in learning more about creating a purpose-driven brand, please check out my previous podcast episode, Purpose in Action, Crafting and Delivering an Impactful Brand Purpose. It'll be linked in the show notes of today's episode if you want to learn more. But I want to talk about another prevalent contributor to society's trust recession, namely AI. To jump off a point I made earlier, AI can be used to create false media of individuals saying or doing things that they didn't actually do. This is called deep fake AI, and it has been used for entertainment purposes so far, such as creating fake celebrity videos by making it look like a celebrity said or did something funny. But the uses of deep fake AI can be darker. I already mentioned the use of deep fake in fake celebrity endorsements, but as Microsoft has pointed out, deep fakes can use images or videos of individuals without their consent, potentially violating their privacy and autonomy. Non-consensual deepfake videos can cause significant harm to individuals by exploiting and manipulating their likeness for explicit or damaging content. This can lead to severe harm, including loss of employment opportunities, public humiliation, or damage to personal relationships. Remember the cancel culture? Yeah. Meta and Google have both taken a strong approach to combating advertisements or services that offer to create inappropriate deepfake content. But this is rightfully a source of worry for many people who now face the possibility of being taken advantage of. Not only does AI deepfake technology pose a risk to individuals, it threatens the credibility of information for everyone. Technology company HP points out in an article discussing deepfakes implications, stating, quote, "Deepfake videos can also manipulate public opinion and erode trust in media and public sources. The ability to fabricate realistic videos of public figures, politicians, or celebrities saying or doing things they never actually did can have far-reaching consequences for society and democratic processes," unquote. Remember fake news? Yeah, here we are. In our digital world, disinformation is already a common cause of societal mistrust. With the addition of AI technology being used irresponsibly, it's no wonder society is slipping further and further into a recession of mistrust. This hugely emphasizes the importance of a responsible use of AI across the board. But bringing it back to the findings of the 2024 Edelman Trust Barometer report, if businesses wish to stay in public trust, they must be careful about their use of new technologies, especially AI. I'm going to share some basic guidelines for businesses about responsibly using AI. C3 AI, a leading enterprise AI software provider, has stated that the legal limits regarding the use of AI set a, quote, "minimum threshold of acceptability," unquote. They emphasize that organizations should apply ethical AI practices and set clearly stated policies that go beyond legal requirements to ensure respect for fundamental human values. Before a business commits to using any AI technology, they should understand the systems they use by researching the AI before allowing it to be implemented. These systems should have a commitment to ethical AI guidelines, emphasizing transparency, privacy, fairness, accountability, and a continuous improvement and review process. After understanding an AI tool or system and determining that the company behind it is dedicated to ethical practices, business leaders should create a set of company-wide guidelines and standards for the use of each AI tool. Research suggests that leaders are often unaware that their employees are even using AI. Leaders need to implement a consistent set of guidelines for the use of AI in order to maintain consistency and transparency as a brand. And they need to continuously evaluate their company's use of AI in order to determine if they're maintaining ethical practices. And another important factor when it comes to a company's use of AI is to be transparent with consumers as well as accountable and honest about mistakes. In 2015, Amazon realized that their AI resume recruiting tool showed bias against women and that they stopped their use of the program. They claim to have now developed a better AI recruitment tool that they regularly conduct rigorous analyses of these tools' outcomes to ensure that they're similarly benefiting all demographic groups. In order to maintain trust with consumers, though, businesses need to seek continuous improvement and maintain honesty. And as I said before, those that need to be careful with their use of new innovations in order to foster trust with an audience who is rightfully mistrustful of potentially dangerous technologies. So making that balance between being innovative, but also being trustworthy. And that is a fine line today. To reiterate my emphasis on the importance of trust for businesses, a 2024 study on purchasing in the digital age found that, quote, trust is the most influential factor in e-commerce purchasing decisions. The study defines trust in e-commerce as consumers' confidence in the online retailer's integrity and reliability. This encompasses various aspects, such as the belief that the retailer will deliver the promised product or service, adhere to fair business practices, respect customer information privacy, and provide effective recourse in case of problems. The study went on to explain that trust has been found to positively influence consumers' attitudes toward online shopping by reducing perceived risk, increasing their likelihood of purchasing. As your brand navigates through this trust recession, hopefully you're in greater understanding of how vital establishing and maintaining trust with your customers is. We've talked in great detail about what not to do in order to avoid damaging trust, as well as to avoid legal trouble. But let's also talk about what you should be doing to build trust. Ensuring product quality, providing helpful and thorough customer service, maintaining transparency in operations and policies, including owning up to mistakes and being dedicated to fixing them, and displaying authentic customer reviews, the good and the bad, on your website are all great ways to build trust with those who buy from you and will ensure that they come back to your brand again and again. Another huge one is taking measures to ensure that customer data and privacy and transaction security. And remember to be transparent about your use of AI. A great example of a brand that's transparent about their use of AI technologies is Cyber Peace Institute. This is a nonprofit that aims to reduce the impact of cyber attacks on individuals and communities. Through its Cyber Peace Builders program, it offers free cybersecurity assistance to under-resourced organizations in any sector where the impact of cyber attacks can affect whole communities. Cyber Peace Institute outlines their principles on AI use and shares guidelines for other organizations to implement. So if your team uses or plans to use AI, make sure to check out the link to those guidelines in our show notes. From a consumer perspective, a great resource for making sure you're shopping with ethical businesses is a site called ethicalconsumer.org. This is a nonprofit organization which evaluates brands based on the criteria that reflects the issues that matter to each individual user, based on research of over 40,000 companies, brands, and products. And that's all we have for you today. I hope you found some value in today's episode. Trust is truly an important component of today's society. It is literally what allows us all to function in a community every day. And as businesses, it is our job to contribute to our society's success by making it our mission to practice trustworthiness. I hope this episode was inspiring to you. If it was, please give us a review, like, and subscribe. And please tune in next week for another new episode. Thank you so much. Take care.